Chennai Super Kings, who will arrive at that auction with the second biggest purse, 43.4 crore. They, of course, also arrive now with Sanju Samson, a Super King, having been traded in from Rajasthan. Lots of big releases. But Matt, start us off. CSK.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see exactly how the top three sort of roles go. And there's a few players in CSK's team where their roles could be slightly different depending on how Fleming and co see it. So you could have Samson, I assume, will probably open with Gaikwad, and Matre maybe comes in at 3. But it depends again whether they think he's ready to play a full season as a starter. Dubé is someone who's batted in a number of different roles, whether that's a spin hitter or maybe slightly seen more as a finisher. And it might be that some of this comes together slightly depending on who they actually can afford at the auction. I wouldn't be surprised if they have a decent dip at Russell as well as Cam Green. I think Dustin's already mentioned that as a prominent possibility, and I can definitely see how that could happen. There's also obviously been some chatter around Maxwell. I wouldn't be surprised if they went for Livingston either. And yeah, I think there are clear gaps, but they do have a lot of money to go after people with. I think Khalil, Cambodge, Ellis, Noor is the sort of bare bones of a possible attack, and then you could stick an all-rounder or two in on top of that. But yeah, there's obviously a few different permutations.
Ronak?
Yeah, Samson Mhatre, I think, looks like the opening pair with Gaikwad at 3 in all likelihood. I just like to point out that this is going to be a new CSK now, isn't it? For years, success built on the back of that one foreign opener who did his job, whether he came in the form of Mike Hussey or Faf du Plessis or Devon Conway, but now a strength that's built around an Indian batting lineup that might be together for a long time. So new era. And actually, honorable mention to Devon Conway. I think he doesn't get as much credit, but he played his part in CSK's success up until last season. I'm surprised that they let Conway and Rachin go. I thought Rachin might have stayed for the 4 crore price point, but clearly they're looking at different types of players now to fill. So I'm quite excited. I said this on the CSK chatter. They will go in with a heavy purse, which they have, and they will still get stronger. It's already a really good core. Pathirana is the big shock for me. And I can't see a overseas fast bowler screaming, or an Indian fast bowler for that matter, screaming to replace him. So big calls for Stephen Fleming to take on who that bowler is, whether it's the bowler like an Andre Nokia, or any one of the other released fast bowlers. But we wait to find out. I'm quite excited with the prospect of Andre Russell at CSK, which might very well be a possibility given Cam Green might be KKR's preference.
Just a quick point to add. The most important skill set CSK will look out for is a spinner. They need a spinner for Jadeja's role, and they definitely. Now, there is not too many spinners going around. They only have currently in Noor that one lone spinner. They don't have anything otherwise who's an established one. So they will definitely go for a spinner. Whether it would be an uncapped spinner, we don't know, or whether it would be, I don't know. I mean, we don't need to say Bishnoi. Obviously, Bishnoi will be, everyone will look at him, but whether that fits Bishnoi's numbers at Chepauk or no, great anyway. So I'm not sure if he'll fit into that role. The other guys, I mean, the batting order already has been discussed. I think the one other guy who I think CSK might look at is Venki Iyer. They will look, even if he's a left-hander, I think Venki Iyer fits into that kind of scheme of things that CSK are looking at, young and upcoming. So from what little inside knowledge I have, definitely Venki Iyer will be on that. And Maxi will be one other person that they will look at because he can do the job. Now, whether Fleming will have to take that call of whether he can work with Glenn Maxwell, who has been at different franchises. He's no doubt still a match winner, but will Flem want Maxi, and what kind of a role again? Yeah, so yeah, go on, Matt.
Fleming and Maxwell have a relationship that goes back a long way, and Maxwell has spoken quite a lot about how much of a good influence he was early in his career in sort of helping him to grow up. He was head coach at Melbourne Stars for a few years, going back quite a long way now. But yeah, Maxwell has spoken glowingly about Fleming in the past, and I suppose we're about to find out whether Fleming thinks the same of Maxwell.
Yeah, I'll just read out a possible CSK 11 and you guys can give me your reaction. So I think Sanju and Matre at the top, Gaikwad, Brevis, Dubey, Russell I'm going to put in there, Dhoni, Ellis, Noor, Kamboj, Khalil. I think what they might... Why is Ronak shaking his head at that?
No, I think the batting got over very quickly while you were reading that.
No, you'll have an impact sub who'll come in, so that will give you batting till 8. But that's actually the problem is if you get Maxwell.
Have you put Noor?
Yeah, I put Noor in, and I said if you bring in Maxwell, the only issue is how do you fit your 4 overseas players, because you have Noor, Ellis, and Brevis who are locks as overseas players, and if you go after a Russell, then it'll be sort of a Russell / Maxwell scenario. You could still get Maxwell if he comes at a cheaper cost, but it would be then almost a Maxwell / Russell in your team, and you'd have to find... I think they need to somehow find an Indian spin bowling all-rounder to replace Jadeja, because it's actually kind of an important role. I don't know.
And that's where I've... Yeah, sorry, finish. I'll talk about the...
No, I said I don't know if just a spinner will do for them. If you look at the balance of this side, they might need a spinner who can bat a bit, and most of those guys are retained. So they maybe in the trade window, they can find someone after this retentions are done.
And a spinner who can bowl in the power play. This is where Maxi did well in the few matches, 4 matches he played at Punjab. He did really well. And I was surprised actually that Punjab let go Maxwell, but probably it might... Why the reason? Oh, probably we won't be told ever. But he can do the job, and this is where I think Jadeja was struggling at Chipok, especially in power play. A few numbers I was just checking, he was very weak. He barely bowled also, so that was also hurting CSK. So this is where one place where Maxi they might look at someone like Maxi too.